All right. Hey guys. So a little bit shorter of a break than I usually take. I mean, it's better than last time. I mean, from what, May to October. So 2 months this time, October to almost the end of December. Um, but figured I can't sleep right now. And I can't clear my mind. So I guess making a video is the best way to clear my mind right now. It's actually really late right now. It's as you can see, it's 2:57. So yeah, almost 3 in the morning. Can't sleep, and it's whatever. So, like I said, figured just make a video. Maybe that'll get my mind off of things. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, it's 2:57. It's December 30th. There we go. Autofocus. December 30th. So tomorrow's New Year's Eve. So that means I didn't. I went right over Christmas. So happy or Merry belated Christmas and happy early New Year. Because since I'm right in the middle of that, might as well. Um, but yeah, if you guys have been wondering what I've been doing, basically just a whole lot of nothing. Just been, sleeping and working and playing games. Like that's basically 95 to 98% of what I've been doing lately. Is just that. It's just all that. My my mental has kind of just been at a low. I mean, obviously when I'm with friends, when I'm with people, it's usually fine. Um, but then whenever I'm just left by myself with my own feelings and everything, that all just kind of just goes off a cliff. And yeah, but mental is just one part. Motivation, just don't have any motivation to do anything. It's just it's nice and cold right now, so it's better to just stay indoors and just wrap up in the blanket and stuff. So yeah, and just a lot of stuff that I've been worrying about. Um, you know, After doing DoorDash, I've been doing DoorDash for about almost 4.5 months now, and it's just it's just been car problem after car problem after car problem. With the um, what was with the the whole brake light thing, and then the power line hose, and then now basically my check engine light came on early December, and it turned off all of a sudden 2 days later. Then went about a week, turned on again, and I went to O'Reilly's to go check it because they do free engine light checking. And so it turns out, oh hey, your car is just running lean, so don't worry about it. It's not like a catalytic converter problem or anything, which would have sucked honestly because that would have costed me $500, which I don't have. Um, and yeah, so it was just the engine was running a little too lean, and I don't know if that's because of the colder weather, which means it's denser air, which means you pack more. Basically, short story. If you don't know how engines work, suck, squeeze, bang, blow. They suck a whole bunch of air in, they squeeze the air, and then they ignite it with the air fuel mixture, and then it expands, and then you shoot the exhaust out. And so basically, when the air is colder, basic science, colder air is denser air, so you pack more air into it, and then maybe that's causing it to be a little too lean. It's either that or even worse, it could be like an O2 sensor problem. Well, I mean, if it was an O2 sensor problem, it would have picked up in the computer, but it could just be a valve problem. Maybe the valves aren't shutting properly or something, and extra air is getting intaked into the cylinders. I don't know, but my car is running a little too lean, which kind of sucks because I registration is coming up in February, and I have to get a smog this time, which great. That's gonna cost me like so much money right now, and like honestly, like I've been trying to limit my spending, but just thing after one thing after another after another after another, I have to spend money on this, money on that, and I recently just got a credit card uh credit card limit. It got bumped from 500 to $2,000, and I've been trying my best not to spend a whole bunch of money. Of course, it's really hard when you get bumped that high and that much on your credit limit that you want to start spending everything. But then after a little while, I'm like, okay, I got to slow down. But then it's just been thing after another, and honestly, I'm like, that's kind of the reason why my mental's been really crazy. Like it's just been stressing out a lot, trying to work enough to pay that credit card. At least I'm making my payments and everything. But the the balance just keeps going higher and higher, and then it gets to, it's starting to come to a point where, I might eventually, end up maxing out that card, which would definitely, suck, because it's $2,000. It's more than what I could, comfortably make, in a short amount of time. I mean, that would probably take me about 2 months to make, and then not to mention, I have to pay rent. I have to, you know, food, gas, car insurance, all that I have to pay. And so it's gonna be really tough for me, but I should be able to hold it out. Um, but yeah, and then that whole thing, kind of got into, geez, my face has looked rounder than ever. If you look at videos from like 2, 3 years ago, you'll notice my face is a little bit more, defined. Like my cheek is more defined and everything. It's just a whole lot of just not doing anything. Obviously now that I've gotten a car, I don't have the bike everywhere, which means I don't have to work as hard, so I can be as lazy as I want. Whenever I want to go somewhere, I don't have to be like, oh my god, I have to bike out there. I can just go take the car out and all that stuff. So and I'm honestly at a point where it doesn't look like it, but I'm 170 pounds, and I used to be, I gained 40 pounds since the pandemic. I used to be 130 pounds, and that's when I biked everywhere, all the time, just all over the place. And now, it's just, but I've been going back to the gym a little bit. I mean, I did get a gym membership last year, but then, last, you know, early 2022 up until like, just about a couple months ago, it's just been like I've been paying for that gym and then I don't go, and it's just like a big waste of money. But I've been trying to get my money's worth out of it. Been trying to go more often, so I guess it's like an early New Year's resolution. Hopefully I can get my mental back together, get my get the motivation, kind of just kick depression out and all. I know it's not that simple with depression because I've had it since I was 14. But yeah, so yeah, and also I'm looking over here because obviously I have notes. I want to make sure I cover everything that I want to. So which actually, I want to briefly get into this real quick. If you probably noticed, I have a new phone. I got this earlier this month. It's a Galaxy S22 Plus, and it's been great. I also have the OtterBox case on it. So, and also, I want to, Rangers wallpaper, Rangers phone wallpaper, which looks very nice. And that is replacing this old beat up phone right here. It's all filled with dust because it's been sitting here. I don't know what to do with this, so it's just been sitting here. This is my Galaxy S9. It's really, really beat up. I mean, it's I didn't have a case on it because when I first got this, I was living in a place where I had carpet and hardwood, and I don't ever drop my phone in public, like ever. I think the last time I ever dropped a mobile device in public was when I was back in middle school. So I keep a close hand on my phone all the time. I always set it down on the table. I always put it in my pocket whenever I'm going, getting up, or I keep a close grip and I keep it close to me, in front of me. I'm not swinging it all over the place. I keep it in my hand and keep a nice firm grip on it. Make sure that nothing were to ever knock my phone out of my hand or anything. So that's why I didn't get a case for this. And when I moved over here from Florida a year later, I went from living in a place with carpet and hardwood to a place that had stone tile, like actual stone tile. And one small little drop at home, and this thing just completely just shattered itself. I mean, the first drop cracked the bottom here. You can probably see that. Cracked the bottom here. That was 2 years ago, almost 3 years at this point. And cracked the top over here, and I've been living with a cracked phone ever since, up until earlier this month. And so there's a whole bunch of scratches on the screen and everything from various things that I would set my phone on. And then I lived with it for a while, which was I didn't care. I mean, it was just in the corners, so I could easily live with it. But then it got to a point where I was coming home, from doing DoorDash, and this thing is like horribly outdated already, over the past few months. So the phone would lag all the time, and sometimes the app wouldn't work properly. It would freeze up on me, and so it was just a big hassle. So yeah, I really needed a new phone, and the last straw was when I came home, and I was carrying a whole bunch of things. I was wearing my shorts because it was still summer heat, late August, early September, lots of heat. So I was wearing my shorts, my gym shorts, which had no pockets in them. Big mistake. And I was trying to carry a whole bunch of things into the house, and my phone was resting on top of a box, like a cardboard box of something that I had, and I tilted it slowly, and the phone slipped off the cardboard box and landed face face up on the stone tile, and completely just destroyed the the back covering, the back glass panel, and it also shattered the camera lens too. I don't know if you there we go. So it shattered the camera lens too, and so and as you can see, there's a bunch of scratches from me, leaving it on certain places and everything. So yeah, this phone was completely just destroyed after two drops on the stone, and now the autofocus doesn't want to work anymore. Focus on this. Focus on this. There we go. So, so yeah. So after two drops, this phone just completely destroyed itself, and so I just figured, you know what? I need a new phone. Because like this phone, it's all destroyed. I don't like holding it anymore because I know it's all like cracked and everything. And repairing the phone, front screen, back screen, battery, because I accidentally left it underneath the pillow one time while I was charging, and it overheated the battery, quite a couple times. And then one time I left it in the car with the sun shining in on the phone stand, um, and I left it in the car for about 20 minutes with the sun shining in, and it overheated the battery. With yet another time, so the battery's in really bad shape, and yeah, so really needed a new phone. Um, and the cost to repair everything, like I said, front screen, back panel, camera lens, and battery was going to cost upwards of $400, and I wasn't going to do that. That was half the value of the phone anyways, so I figured it'd just be easier to just get a new phone, and there was no way I was going to be able to trade this in. There's just no way. But since my dad has great credit on his phone, I only needed about $130 down payment on this phone, and then it was about $40 a month for 2 years, and I got the S22 Plus. So it's a nice, amazing phone. My headset just turned off, and I'm not gonna worry about it this time. Actually, I'm just gonna take that off so that oh, I feel so much better. um, but yeah, so my hair, I'm gonna get a new hair, I'm gonna get a not new hair, I'm gonna get a haircut in the next few months or whatever, because I have an important life event that is gonna I'm gonna do in about a few months, that I'm gonna need to cut my hair off, and honestly it's gonna get hot around that time anyway, so a haircut would be nice. But yeah, so what was I saying? Right, this phone, S22 Plus, very, very nice phone. Let's see here. So the whole screen, or the whole surface is a screen um, except for the top here. As you can see, there's a little pinhole for the camera, and honestly, it doesn't really bug me as much as people think it does, and it's really nice. I really, really like it. It's been great so far. The AMOLED screen. I mean, the S9 has an AMOLED screen too, but this one is just bigger and it looks better. And I love it. And also has 5G, so faster. I mean, the my 5G experience so far has been kind of lackluster, but I can really see, like, it connects very well. Um, but like um I don't know if it's just my phone or if this is a recurring problem with 5G phones, and my camera refuses to autofocus correctly again. Focus on this. Focus on this. Focus on my phone. Focus on my bright little phone here. If I can get the... There we go. So I don't know if this is just a problem with my phone, or if it's a problem with, like, all 5G phones, but basically, there seems to be two versions of 5G that you can connect to. That's regular 5G and then 5G UC, which I don't know what UC means. Um, I ultra connection. I don't know. But 5G UC, and then when it transitions from 5G to 5G UC and vice versa, um, sometimes my Discord calls go crazy for about 5 seconds. They'll disconnect and reconnect again. And then of course from 5G to 4G, it also does that weird thing. It disconnects and and goes wild for about 5 seconds. So I've just been having a lot of problems with 5G, especially when it switches from 5G and 5G UC. Um, so I don't know, but honestly, the speeds on 5G are pretty nice. Connectivity is really fun. Really fun. Really good. It is very fun too. So, but yeah, connectivity with 5G really really good, and it's honestly it's really good. Um, and just, I can't really say enough good things about it. So, yeah. But anyways, I guess now would be the time to go into the hockey side of things, since again I've pretty much branded myself as a hockey channel. Um, I just wanted to put that out there just in case some of you were. I know some people that watch my videos are like, oh yeah, well how's your life been and all that stuff. But some people are sub to me for hockey stuff. So now let's get into the hockey stuff. Um, so as you might have seen, I have a New York Rangers wallpaper, and people always wonder how come, since I am a Chicago fan and I'm from Chicago, why the hell do I like the New York Rangers? I think I've covered it in a video before, but I don't mind telling it again. Um, I remember doing some research when I was in like middle school, and I found out that a lot of like the players that I liked on the early '90s Blackhawks teams, like Brian Noonan, Stefan Matteau, obviously, and Steve Larmer and all that stuff, and also Mike Keenan, the coach. They went to the Rangers in '94, and Eddie Olczyk. Well, he didn't directly come from Chicago. I think he came from Toronto I don't remember. But Eddie Olczyk was also on that team, on the Rangers team in '94, and they won the cup in '94. And it was really cool to see all the really cool players back in the early '90s that won a cup with the Rangers in '94. You know, and then of course they play Madison Square Garden, which is really cool. So I like that part about it. And then also their goal celebration. It's freaking awesome. And people say Chicago has one of the best goal celebrations as well, where it's just like either you love it or you hate it. There's no in between. And of course Vancouver fans hate Chelsea Dagger. So, but yeah, honestly the Rangers are pretty cool. So that's why I started following them. And also Original Six, the history's right there, along with Chicago. So, yeah, so that's why I kind of started becoming a Rangers fan. And so, yeah, honestly, I really want this team to do well, but there's been a lot of problems lately. This team, I mean, uh, for a little while there in December, they had a really good win streak going. I think they won 8 out of 9 games or something like that. But then they lost 4-0 to Washington a few days ago, and then just earlier tonight, they lost against Tampa in a shootout. Well, I would just consider that a tie because, shootouts came out of the lockout as a sort of way to be like, yeah, we shouldn't have ties anymore. There should be a winner. So, yeah. So basically, I just treat shootouts as a tie, but Tampa still won it, so they get the extra point. And Alexis Lafreniere was a healthy scratch, which honestly that is a really big risk to take with a player like that. I mean, because you want to make sure that they have confidence. The best thing that a young player can have is confidence. And if you're constantly saying, "Yeah, we don't have confidence in you," they're not going to have confidence on the ice. So making Lafreniere a healthy scratch, and he's the number one overall pick. Um, and so basically, it's just like, the talent's there, but it's hard to develop him because we have so much top six talent already. with Zibanejad, Kreider, Panarin, all that. Um, and so there's just no room for Kako and Lafreniere, and so people think that oh, they're just busts. I genuinely think there's a problem with the Rangers development, and I even have Lafreniere on my fantasy team, which I joined a hockey fantasy team about I want to say a couple months ago, 2 to 3 months ago. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But if he's not going to perform out on the ice, then what reason do I have? Because I keep holding on to the hope that eventually he's gonna blossom this season and really show his true colors and go out there and produce like another Sidney. I mean, people were comparing him to Sidney Crosby when before he got drafted, and so I just kept hanging on to the hope that maybe he'll become that Sidney Crosby player and score 120 points, but it's just not happening. I mean, he was starting to get more ice time and everything, but then he got sent down to the fourth line, and then, like I said earlier tonight, he was a healthy scratch, which really sucks because I really want to see him go out there and perform and contribute and get points and be that number one overall player. But I don't think there's a spot for him in the Rangers lineup, and so which is why, because the Blackhawks are a rebuilding team right now. I mean, they just lost to the Blues 3-1 in St. Louis. I've already accepted that they're going to be terrible because they openly admitted to the rebuild, and they sold off Alex DeBrincat and Kirby Dach. Man, that still stings even when it's been quite a few months, it still really stings. But yeah, we're 8-22-4 right now. We're sitting dead last, lower than Anaheim. We have 20 points right now. And that is in 34 games. 20 points in 34 games. We have like a .3 something points percentage. I don't know exactly what the math is, but it's .3 something. So that's why there's been a whole bunch of rumors that Alexis Lafreniere is going to get traded, to the Hawks, and then the Hawks will, send Patrick Kane to the Rangers as a rental to reunite him with Artemi Panarin. Which would be cool, honestly. It would be amazing. But I really don't think that is going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. You can't just give up on a prospect like that so easily. When you still keep holding on to the hope that, Kako is going to do well, but then Alexis Lafreniere comes in, a year later, and you're already going to give up on him. It's just like, yeah, no, that that's just not how it works, Honestly, they should have spent some time in the Hartford Wolfpack, in the AHL, to develop a little bit, get some confidence, and But the Rangers are honestly in a win now scenario, and they're trying to do whatever they can do to win right now. Which, honestly, last year was a good year, but it's not the time for them. I can't see this team going through 4 rounds. I mean, Shesterkin just had a crazy season last year, and he's still having a good season this year, but it wasn't on the same level because he's losing more games than we expected. So yeah, but I mean, he's still a great goaltender. I love Igor Shesterkin. He's amazing, and yeah, so. But yeah, those are my thoughts on everything hockey related that I follow. So yeah, just go feel free to let me know in the comments down below how you feel about what I've said. Do you agree with what I've said about the Rangers and Lafreniere and everything, or do you disagree? Do you think that maybe the Chicago Blackhawks should try to trade Patrick Kane for Alexis Lafreniere? And what should either team have to do to make that trade happen? How much salary does Chicago have to retain to make that trade happen and all that stuff? So yeah, but anyways, wow, almost 25 minutes, but hey, a little bit shorter than what I usually do, which is 35 minutes. So yeah, but there's a lot that I had to talk about. So yeah, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys had a great Christmas and everything, and hopefully the new year will be a lot better on everybody. hopefully. So yeah, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.